Don't you love this studio? Man, I am so happy with the new Octave records. Wait till you hear some of the new releases that we're building out of here. It is so much better here. We'll get on to that. All right. Jim in Chicago writes to me and he says, Dear Paul, I recently saw a YouTube post by Rick Beto, who is a music instructor and producer. He did a test to see if you could hear a difference between 1644 and 320 kilobytes MP3. The person he used has a degree in music production. Woo! She can hear a sine wave up to 18K and has perfect pitch. She is in her 20s. They use 6 different songs and she could not hear a difference. How can a person over 55 hear a difference? Most of the top music producers are over 50 years old. Can you explain this? Hell, boy, I'm in my 70s and I can hear the difference. So, oh boy. You know, this is a classic case of what I like to call expert syndrome. I was reading a blog the other day, and my friend Seth wrote something. He said, and this really struck home. He said, you know, the head of surgery for a university may be really good at writing papers and doing conferences, but it's not a great surgeon. And that really struck home because I would think right off the bat, hey, if I need surgery, I'm going to go to the head of surgery, right? He's the head because he's the best. Well, that's not necessarily true. In fact, it probably isn't true. It could be true, but it probably isn't. And someone who has a degree in music production doesn't necessarily have a clue about what we as audiophiles do. Most musicians that I've met, most producers that I met are absolutely clueless when it comes to high-end audio. I mean, clueless. Don't have a clue. Their world is very different than ours. So the fact that she can't is really irrelevant. It just doesn't have meaning. And then to aggrandize her as being, well, I mean, she's got this degree and that degree, so she should know, that's pretty much not true. She should know a whole bunch of stuff here, but doesn't have anything to do with this. Now, having said all of that, I can also argue the other side of this whole thing, and I will. Here's why. Here we are at Octave Records. This is one of the highest end studios in the world. One of probably 5 studios that use this high resolution DSD system, the Pyramix system. There's studios all over the world that use Pyramix, but not in the way that we do. We use this as a DSD recorder where every channel is running at 11 million cycles a second. Your average, well, Rick Beto, when he goes to produce something, and I know Rick, I don't know him, but I mean, I've seen his YouTube videos, he's a very knowledgeable guy. He uses Pro Tools, and he'll record things at 100 kilohertz, 100,000 times a second. We're doing it at 10 times that resolution. This is a very high-end studio. And yet, and we can make high resolution, the highest resolution possible today with the technology that we have out here. And I've talked about this before. You can buy this in an SACD, you can buy it as a download, but you can also get it for free at Octave Radio. If you go to octavestudio.com, just go to octavestudio.com and look on the site, you'll see Octave Radio. It's free, just click it. And what you're going to hear is really amazing. It's some of the best well-recorded music that you're going to hear on a radio station. I get people all the time going, this is stunning. How did you guys do this? I listen to things on Spotify. This sounds better. And you know what? It's MP3. Okay? So, Much of it depends on the quality of the recording. An MP3 of an octave recording sounds amazing. Now, can you hear the difference in this studio on these resolving speakers between that MP3 copy and what comes out of this master board? Oh, God, yes. Absolutely. But on the other hand, it's still MP3, and you can still hear wonderful stuff. So I don't think that the two really relate to each other. So sorry for the long ramble. It's a point that I'm rather passionate about, and I appreciate you putting up with my passion. Okay. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.